How's it going? Today I'm going to teach you how to play Black Sunshine. The song starts off with these bar chords using the whammy bar. If you haven't got a whammy bar, don't worry, it's still great to play along with. But for those of you that have, first of all you need to know this bar chord. So it's a bar chord from a 5th string root. And what we're doing is we're putting the first finger on the 7th fret of the A string. Then the 3rd finger bars across the 9th fret on strings D, G and B. Okay, and for the first half of the song, or the riff, we're going to do 7th fret, 10th fret, 7th fret, up to the 1st fret. And then what we do with the whammy bar, on the first one, you're going to dive it. And then when you go to the second one, you're still going to have the whammy bar depressed, and then you're going to raise it, and then dive. And that's going to sound like... Okay, so you can hear, as I'm playing it, I've still got it depressed, and then I dive. And that happens on all of these ones after the first one. So you've got... That's the first half. The second half, we go to the 7th fret bar chord again. Then we go to the hendrix chords. For those of you that don't know what that is, that's also known as an E7 sharp 9. And we're using the 2nd finger on the 7th fret of the A string. 1st finger is on the 6th fret of the D string. 3rd finger is on the 7th fret of the G string. And the little finger is on the 8th fret of the B string. So the second half of the riff goes 7th fret bar chords, hendrix chords, 7th fret bar chords, 10th fret bar chords. And that second half is going to sound like... And as you can hear on that last one, as opposed to diving the whammy bar, we're just going to shake it about and get this kind of heavy vibrato sound. Okay, that happens on the second, or the first and second times of the verse. The third time, it's mostly the same. The first half is the same, apart from the second half, as opposed to doing the 7th fret bar chords to the hendrix chords. The second half, you're going to do 7th fret bar chords to the 8th fret bar chords, 7th fret to the hendrix chords. So the second half of the third time, it's going to sound like... And same thing at the end, we just shake the whammy bar. This next riff, we're playing on the A string mostly, and what we're doing, whenever you're on the A string, you're going to palm mute it, and we've got this open 3, 5, using fingers 1 and 3. Open 5, 6, using fingers 1 and 2 so far. Then you're going to do open 5, 6, using fingers 1, 2 and 3. And then you're going to play the 5th fret of the D string with the 1st finger, and this time it's not palm muted. Then you come back to the 6th fret of the A string with the 2nd finger, palm muted. This next riff, we're playing 3, 2 open on the low string, palm muted, and we're going to play that 4 times. Okay, and then you just play power chords on the 1st fret, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, and 4th fret of the low E string. The next riff is the part where you hear the first like little solo parts, and it's got this riff behind it. Okay, and what we're doing there is we're playing the low open string, palm muted twice, and then we're going to play the 5th fret power chord on the A string. Then again, same sort of thing, we're going to play the 2 E strings palm muted, and then we're going to go up to the 7th fret power chord on the A string. So far we played that 2 times. And then you're going to play 2 open E strings, palm muted again. And then we're going to play the 6th fret power chord on the E string. And then you're going to slide it along to the 7th fret. So you're not going to pick it, you're going to play the 6th fret power chord and slide it along to 7. So you've got... Okay, and then you repeat it. When you repeat it, as opposed to playing 6, 7, you're going to play 2, 3. Exactly the same thing, sliding down from 2 to 3. So it's going to sound like... All together now. This next riff, we're going to chug on the low open E 12 times. We've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and... Then you're going to play on the beat 3, you're going to play 16th notes and you're going to get down, up, and that's twice as fast as the last notes. So you've got... Then you're going to play the hendrix chord for beat 4. So you've got... Okay, that's the first half. The second half, you're going to play the open E string 8 times this time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Then you play the hendrix chord 3 times with this rhythm. So slowly it's going to sound like... This next riff, we're going to be playing all on the A string. Now first of all is open, 3, 5, using fingers 1 and 3. But you can hear that happens 3 times. Then you're going to play the open A string once, and then you're going to put all your fingers on, fingers 3, 2 and 1, on the same string, and you're going to bend down from the 5th fret down to the 6th fret. You're going to bend it and release it back up to the 5th fret, so you get... Okay, all together that'll sound like... This next riff is kind of similar to the last one, and what we're doing is we're playing open 3, 5 3 times, but this time it's on the low E string and it's palm muted. Then you're going to play open 6, 5. So as opposed to last time where we was bending down to the 6 and releasing back up to the 5, this time we're picking it out. So now we've got open 6, 5, open 3, 5, open 3, 5, open 3, 5, open 6, 5. This next part we're playing power chords, and what we're doing is we're playing the low E string, the lowest one, the E5 power chord, once. Then we're playing power chords on the 8th fret of the A string up to the 7th fret of the A string. So far you've got... Then you go up to the 1st fret on the E string, power chords, and then back to that E5, the low one. And then you're going to play the 8-7 on the A string again. So far. And then to finish it off, you just basically put your finger down on the low string and you get the kind of that nice slide. Just to finish that part off, leading into the next riff. Now we've got to do is our outro riff, and what we're going to do is we're going to start off chugging on our low E string, palm muted, 12 times. So we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and... Then we're going to play this little end part where we do open 1, palm muted on the low E string, 2 on the second fret with the second finger of the A string, not palm muted this time. Then we go back to the first fret of that E string, palm muted. So that first part. Then we're going to play 8 eighth notes with the same thing, the E string, palm muted, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... Then we do that little riff again that you've just done, the open 1, 2, 1, and this time we're going to add on 2, 3, 3, 4, and that's doing 2 with the first finger on the E string, palm muted, to the second finger on the third fret of the A string, not palm muted. When you do that shape, just moved up a fret. So the first finger on the third fret of the E string, and then not palm muted with the fourth fret, second finger of the A string. All together with that second half. All together now, that riff's going to sound like... Okay, you play that 2 times, then on the third time you do the same as the first half, so you go... Then the second time, or the second half of it, you're going to do... And what that's doing is we've got the 8th notes again, so 8 eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then we're going to come up to the 8th fret with the third finger on the A string, then the second finger on the 7th fret of the E string, and then the first finger on the 6th fret of the E string. We've got... Then you're going to play the second finger on the 7th fret of the A string. First finger is going to go onto the 6th fret of the A string, rolling up to the 6th fret of the E string. So far those 6 notes. Then you're going to go down to the 4th fret of the E string, and you're going to do a trill between the 4th and 5th fret, so you get this. And that's just doing hammer-ons and pull-offs really quickly. Okay, so that's... Excuse me. Okay, that's the third time. The fourth time you're going to do... Okay, so you can hear it. The first half is the same again. Second half you do the palm muted 8th notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then you're going to do... So that's a power chord on the 3rd fret of the A string. Except this time you're going to put the first finger up to the 3rd fret of the E string as well. So you get that power chord with the 5th in the bottom sound, which is a really nice and low heavy sound. Then you're going to play the 1st fret power chord on the E string. So that second or the fourth one is going to sound like... Then we've just got this little lick at the end to do, and all that's going to sound like is... So what we've got there is we're playing open E string, palm muted. Then we're going to play with our 3rd finger on the 8th fret of the A string, not palm muted. Back to the low open string, 2 times, palm muted. Those 4 notes together. Then we're going to play 7 on the A string with the 2nd finger to the 1st finger on the 6th fret of the E string. So you've got... Okay, and then you're going to play 1 open E, palm muted, and then you're going to play the 1st fret of the E string, and then the power chord, the low E5 power chord. So you've got... Thanks for watching. If you've got any other riffs or songs you'd like me to do videos for, leave a comment down below. I'll see you next time.